Hello, good evening. Welcome to another date on Journalist Hangout. It's a Friday. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Today on the program, Bloody Day in Zamfara State as cattle rustlers kill 41. Kachiku orders NNPC to clear queues. And later on, Ambode extends 10-lane airport road to Ladipo International Market, nicknamed Ekweme by traders. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitojo. I greet you.
I greet you, Citizen Jones.
Charles Ideho is here after many moons. Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, we are ready. I hope you are too. All right then. Now the psychotic orgy of killings in the country continued, this time in the northwest, as some 41 people were mowed down in the sleepy Birane village in Zurumi local government area of Zamfara state. Suspected cattle rustlers invaded the village, torching dozens of homes, thereby sending alarmed inhabitants who scampered for safety in different directions. In the process, many hapless citizens got caught in the line of fire. And Jide, you are asking what level of mindlessness?
I simply can't find words to describe the regularity and the rate at which these cattle rustlers continue to kill people, especially in Zamfara state.
And unchallenged?
Yes. You know, if you go back a few years, these guys showed clearly that in terms of wickedness, they are more wicked than Boko Haram. Because when they storm a market, usually they are coming to steal cattle, but on a market day, they can afford to kill as many as 100 people. In Katsina, on the day Goodluck Jonathan visited Katsina for his presidential campaign, these cattle rustlers stormed a village called Kankara and killed about 140 people. 140 people. In this case, they didn't come, in this last case, this what happened in Zamfara, they didn't come to steal cattle. They didn't come to steal people's money, because sometimes they come also to steal people's money. What they do is they storm the community on motorbikes, 3 able-bodied men on 1 motorbike, and all carrying AK-47. So once they storm your community, you are powerless. You cannot, because they could come in their dozens. So you cannot do anything to them. But there is something about them. If they storm the community and the people rallied round and resisted them, got some of them arrested, they will come back. That was what happened sometime in 2014 when they killed 125 in a village in Zamfara. And that's my suspicion is that what happened yesterday is also related to that, because they didn't take any money, they didn't take any head of cattle, they didn't take anybody's money. They just came, killed people, and then returned. So it will look like retaliation for maybe, yes, for an attack on them when they attack the community.
Well, otherwise, Charles, I was going to ask you, so what do they want?
That's a 100, I mean,
what do they really want?
$1 million question, because it's really, really frightening, the level we have got to. We're fighting several wars at several fronts. You don't even know where to face. Down south here, you don't know where to face. In the Middle East, in the middle belt, you don't know where to face. And then you go up north. With this issue of cattle rustling and so in the northwest, there's been a general peace. I mean, if so to speak, for a while.
Relatively.
Yeah, relatively, peaceful for a while. It's the northeast that we'll be having this issue of insurgents and all that. But again, I think I remember in November last year, 2017. These same people, not same people anyway, these mindless people, they came to Shinkafi local government, killed about 24 persons, razed down about 3 communities. And then they went away. Nobody was unchallenged. So, and then we see how, as we speak now, all that fringe, those border, they are unmanned. They walk in and they walk out. The question now is that what are the authorities doing, especially this issue of the immigration? And you also have you have immigration over there. Then last year, when that thing happened last year, they said there was a plan to build a sentry there. Army base to forestall this. I don't know whether they have done that. I've not checked. Okay, if they have done that, how has it been able to help? Because as they just walk in, they don't steal anything. They just mindlessly kill people. For me, I think Nigeria is where we are right now. We're being attacked.
One expects ordinarily that federal government's intention of matching force with force by announcing a deployment of troops would be enough deterrence.
No, not in this case. These guys are very well armed. If you speak with residents of communities where they are very active, you know, they were very active in up to 13 local governments in Katsina until the current administration took office in Katsina and then came up with the idea of amnesty and dialogue, and they got Mieti Allah involved, and then they decided to stop. But what do they do today in Katsina? Because there is peace in Katsina now. What they do now is, it is the former cattle rustlers that are now serving as sentry along those border communities, but the border with...
takes a thief to catch a thief.
Yes. Okay, something like that.
Yes,
exactly.
because they probably like what the government offered them, you know? That's why we say that it's not in all cases that force works. Now, in those communities, former cattle rustlers are manning border towns to ensure that you do not infiltrate Katsina from Zamfara or from Kaduna, because there's a town called Brenengwari that for many years was the headquarters of cattle rustling in Nigeria.
The forest
in the country.
Yes, the headquarters of cattle rustling in Nigeria. Because, look, Brenengwari for a long time didn't even have a police station. Because the cattle rustlers will first go to the police station, set it ablaze, loot the weaponry, and then go into town and start killing people. So, in my view, these guys, a lot of them are not Nigerians.
Yeah,
Nigerians.
You keep hearing that, and you're wondering how the level of porosity of our border crossings.
Yes,
is the level.
See, I was in a town called Meyadua after Daura in Katsina State, and I saw that I could walk in and out from Niger Republic into Nigeria.
Unmanned.
It's just a stick that was put across the road to indicate.
That's a border post.
Yes. There are many like that.
We have over, I think about 1,000.
No, 1,400 legal entries into Nigeria. So the rate at which these people enter our country, what they do is they come to steal cattle. Cattle stealing is their business. And now when they storm communities, they will even force you to load the cattle into their own trucks.
Yeah.
You are the owner of the cattle that is stolen.
The level of audacity.
And wickedness. You are stealing someone's things, and you are telling him. It's just like what we used to hear in those days that in the Yoruba land, thief will say, after stealing your gold chain, he tells you to put it around his neck like a garland, and then you should bless it. I mean, it's the height of wickedness.
Audacity.
So they kill people. Life has become so cheap in Nigeria.
Jide started by telling us the olive branch in Katsina State. Have you heard the news lately? In Jigawa State, over 500 thieves, confessed thieves, went to a specially prepared podium and denounced stealing and so on. And they are using them to
fight this system. Yeah, I mean, it also worked in the Niger Delta, where you found those boys who were the former militants.
Yes.
Jonathan was able to harvest from there and then use them. That's where the issue of Tompolo Ateketon came. They were not using them, and then for a while you had they were able to be, they were effective until maybe.
And if you try to do what they have stopped doing, they'll come
after you. Exactly.
They will apprehend you because they don't want to give them a bad name.
Exactly, that's it. So, but in this case, this Zamfara, I think the security agency have to up their game. What actually happened was, as I said, first of all, when the cattle rustler was caught, he ran to the bush, went for reinforcement. Then rather than the community people reporting to the authorities, they wanted to do the thing by themselves. So but what does that tell you? It tells you that they also have lost faith in the police system.
Agencies, yes.
So if you find the citizenry losing faith in the security agency, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to take it as
they cannot defend themselves.
They can defend themselves. Look at what happened.
These guys are well armed.
They are well armed.
Fertile ground for what you call jungle justice.
That's why. You know? If they're able to do it, but this time around, the people they are against are well armed, well trained, obviously. Because when you take a look at their modus operandi, the way they come in, the attacks are usually well planned and well executed, and they will go on. So it tells you that we are up against an organized crime system, which just have to do something about.
Again, in the interim, we can only rely on the deployment of troops. We hear this particular village now is very remote from
Guzo, the city center.
You know, sometimes some villages in northern Nigeria could be as far as 7-8
kilometers from
drive.
Hours.
8 hours from the state capital. So, and some
Far
of them they are largely inaccessible in terms of road, no good road.
Use bike. And
what do you do? If they are difficult to access, then it follows that it will be difficult to even help. As I was telling people who are saying, they kill so many people in Mambila, when we didn't hear so much, it was not well reported, this and that. And I said, see, Mambila is much more difficult to access than Benue.
The topography
from the state capital to get to Mambila, you need between 7 to 8 hours.
Wow.
And with a good vehicle, maybe these multi-terrain vehicles, Isuzu Tiger and all that, you know, because I went there.
That's right.
But in the case of Benue, you can access Benue through Nigeria Southeast. You can access Benue through Abuja.
South.
You know, Abuja. You know, so it's not far. You can get there.
Right. Yes.
So to go to Mambila is difficult for most people.
So when anything happens there, it's not easily accessible.
We never get as much report as you get.
Exactly.
I hear we must take a breather here. Please stay. Quite a lot to discuss. Please don't go away. Okay then, bloody day in Zamfara, as indeed many troubled theaters across the country. What to do? At a time like this, gentlemen, it goes beyond just calling on God. God has given us the brains. We put the brain to work.
To use.
The governor, I remember just before we came back on, yes, Senator Marafa. Yeah, shouted on the floor of the Senate, look, what's happening in my state is much more like a time bomb waiting to explode.
Yeah. It's happening now.
We are here now.
Now, he said that organized bandits were on the rampage in his state.
Organized?
Yes,
Organized. And militant groups have sprung up in his state, and that the state governor was not doing anything about it. Now, after Marafa criticized the governor, I read a story in which the governor said, Kabiru Marafa's political career is dead, meaning that he would move against the senator. You want to move against a senator for raising the alarm about the rampant killing of innocent people.
Especially in a senatorial district.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, he has responsibility.
He has every reason to complain. And again, I think day before yesterday, the senator was on that same matter. And then the Senate president tried to shush him. Exactly. He now said, look, I would rather resign and leave this Senate than not open my mouth and talk about what my people suffer from. That why is it that you, the Senate president, you don't want me to talk? I should be able to talk about our problems.
Charles, the other side to the coin is this. Most times, care must be taken, especially when we jump to conclusions. The governor underline is not doing enough.
Well, enough or not doing anything. But is he doing something? even this particular one, I suggest, I don't know about today, I suggest today, the same governor was in Abuja chairing a FGF meeting. Okay, as you have to speak, there was a journalist that has even talked about it today, that even the police, the Commissioner for Information was approached about the issue. The man feigned knowledge of the happenings, that he was not, at that time, he was not aware of any killing. And meanwhile, before that time, the police had already come out with a statement saying about 18 persons were killed. And Commissioner of Police, who was supposed to be in charge of the information machinery in the state, was telling you that he had no knowledge of the killing. He tried to reach Abuja, he tried to reach the ADC of the governor, he couldn't reach the ADC, he couldn't reach the PA. As yesterday, he couldn't reach the governor. I mean, what the governor, things are happening in his state, he's Namuja chairing a committee, whatever. That's to tell you, what you are saying is not doing enough. In this case, is it doing anything? That's to tell you that the way we look at it.
People don't see, even if you are doing so much,
we must
in your view, if you are doing so much, and people can't see the effect of what you are doing,
result, then
they are going to come to the conclusion that you are not doing anything.
As it is, as we speak.
So what you are doing should actually be effective. If
be
you
effective,
come up with strategies, the strategy must deliver success. If it doesn't deliver success,
then
people will say you are not doing anything.
Because we must see the results.
Which is why we must keep talking about the need for an organic federation. Organic in the true sense of the word, meaning the governor is not just the chief security officer.
Chief executive officer, we have to be chief security
officer.
Yes.
And must be seen, so seen.
I get the point you're making, and that is why I'm interested in the good health of every state. I've been to states in northern Nigeria. There is no state, today now, there is no state in Nigeria that I have not seen. The only state I hadn't seen was Taraba, and I finally conquered Taraba in the month of November. So I've seen every state. I know states that are not buoyant. I know states that shouldn't have been created in the first place. The point is, once states are buoyant enough, they can even have their own security apparatus. One reason I am opposed to state police is because I do not think that Nigerian states, the way they are now, can even fund state police.
Funding,
and if they don't fund state police, if they owe them salaries, they will turn their guns against you and I.
And it's
you know, and in a kind of organized extortion.
I agree with you.
Okay, then. I hear Raphael wants to join the discussion. Okay, he's gone.
He's gone.
All right, Raphael. Let's begin to take this home. I cannot fail to recall the quotation of Oscar Wilde. He said, as long as things like this are seen as wicked, it will have its attraction. But the moment you consider them vulgar, this is really vulgar. Give me the adjectives. So, Jide, let's take it home. We should be a lot less talking and a lot more doing.
Yes.
I agree.
People should see what we are doing. For us in Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, there is greater accent put on talking rather than substance. So much talking without substance. That is what we are known for. And today now, those innocent people have been slaughtered in Zurmi. People will talk about it. After a while, they are forgotten.
Yes, another will happen again.
Another will happen again. We will now be talking about that one. While we had not forgotten that one, these people will go. We must protect our people. The responsibility of government is to protect people. I cannot feel comfortable hearing about deaths in Benue, deaths in Adamawa, deaths in Taraba, deaths now in Zamfara.
Even come to down
Must I wait until it gets to my doorstep?
No, because even me, I'll be worried that where we live.
But I think it's about time the state governments were doing something. Because, for instance, this Zamfara issue now, I expect if things like this happen, the governor has a responsibility to fly down home.
Then what has happened to the army base?
Oh, the army base, what has happened?
We were told that they will send special
squad or something.
Yes.
And they're supposed to be proactive, but they're not proactive. It is when they happen, they are combing the forest.
All right then, save your breath. Let the debate continue, but these are critical times. And cynics would say these are interesting times. Are they really interesting to you? Not to this table. All right. Ahead of a planned Nigerian International Petroleum Summit, NIPS for short, built for Abuja between February 18 and 23rd, an unnerved Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, has, in military fashion, ordered the immediate clearance of fuel queues across the nation's capital before Sunday. To him, the persistent long queues at petrol stations are as a result of logistics and policy issues that have not been tackled headlong. He's right about this, Jide.
Yes.
But who bears the cut?
So who is responsible for those policies and logistics?
And who is responsible for them not being
Because this
addressed?
is a man. The man he speaks good English. You know, you are bound
Jide,
to
let's
listen
get
to
serious.
him. You are bound to
Live
listen
in,
to him.
live in his English. Let's get to this.
No. You see,
he
the thing
speaks
is, he's hiding what he wants to say. Is hiding
Using words.
behind flowery words.
Yes.
He's a man that I'm already familiar with now, you know. So all that needs to be done for us to get out of this nonsense of petrol scarcity is to let the marketers get involved. We've said it repeatedly, NNPC does not have the capacity to go this thing alone. And because they don't have the capacity to do it alone, they prefer to subject you and I to needless suffering. Many people thought, oh, this thing was all about Christmas.
It wasn't.
We've gone past Christmas.
Christmas
We are approaching Easter now. If you know how people are suffering outside of here. I spoke with a friend of mine in Yobe this afternoon. He said it is 230 naira per liter. And as we speak in Yobe, yes, as we speak in the Yobe State capital.
No, what I mean by official is that right at the pump.
Yes, at
so
the pump.
What do you call that?
Yes.
It's not official.
It's
No,
not
but
official.
It was not
It's not
official,
official.
but right at the pump. That's what I mean
it's
by
not
official.
official, yes. Now, in Yobe, it is the NNPC mega station alone that has fuel in the state capital. And the queue is as long as from here to here.
Of course, that's right.
So, who can stay in queues for days and days without having to go and do his work? So, it's a terrible thing. In Abuja, the queues remain very long. So, the truth...
So, Jide, what's the difference between Abuja and Lagos in this connection?
The difference between Abuja and Lagos is that the proximity of Lagos
It's closer to the sea.
to the port. The proximity of Lagos to the big tank farms ensures that that people get the product. Now, people who are far from here find it a lot difficult. If you go to even Abeokuta there, the scarcity remains. Now, what people are doing is some of the marketers here, they take the supply meant for Lagos to some of those communities outside Lagos, states outside Lagos, they can sell at a higher price. Here, if someone says he wants to sell petrol to you at 230 per liter or 185, which is what they are buying it in the lorry, you will not agree.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
But they will now take it to other places and sell. And tank farm owners are selling at higher than the official depot price of 133 naira per liter. They are selling it to independent marketers.
Who will also have to...
Who will also now to... Yes,
I
they must make profit. So when you see them selling at 185, you will be cursing them. If you curse them, nothing will happen to them because they bought it at around 150, 160. So they must make profit.
Charles, the Minister of State, said a lot of efficiency re-engineering mechanisms are going on. Is that big ground?
How come we are not seeing the results?
Is that also big ground?
No, but the question is that if they are going on, how come we are not seeing the results? Look, the thing is that where we have got to now, we have gone beyond the issue of flowery language.
Yes.
Just give us fuel and let it be available. Whether you like talking about econometrics or whatever, nobody's interested. Let the fuel be there and it's available. Even right as we speak now, if Nigeria don't even mind buying the fuel at even 170, but let it be available.
People are suffering.
They are suffering. Okay, the jury has said something. NNPC, it is very glaring that they can no longer do it. As if they're just able to meet about no more than 30% of our daily need here in Nigeria.
Yes.
And if you now find that the landing cost of fuel is about 171 naira, as I hear, and then you now compel people to sell at 145. What happens to the 26 naira differential?
Which is why some people would insist you're still
paying a subsidy or something.
There is subsidy.
There's subsidy about 26
Nobody
naira.
can deny that there is subsidy.
So
it's 26 naira on every...
It's only 26 naira per liter.
You believe it?
No, now...
But when you look at the arithmetic...
Hold on, my brother. Okay, let's look at it this way. Kachiku faced the Senate and said the landing cost is in the region of 171 to 175.
Yeah, that's right.
So who takes care of the operating loss? NNPC is the sole importer now since October.
Yes.
And they became sole importer in October. By late November, the whole problem had begun. When everybody was allowed to bring it in and there was fuel everywhere, we didn't have this problem. The moment they took it off all by themselves, they couldn't supply all of us fuel. Now, if they are saying there's no subsidy, who is taking care of the operating loss? I mean, the trading loss.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you bring in, if you sell to Nigerians at 145, and you admitted to your countrymen during the Senate hearing that the landing cost is between 171 and 175, depending on the global oil price. Who is taking care of the trading loss? Then the trading loss in this way is what I call subsidy. Because what happens is NNPC warehouses crude oil, whatever, is NNPC that sells our crude oil. All it needs to do is to take from, especially now that the price has gone up, they will just take how much they need for subsidy, how much they need, they will take from what they have sold, from what they've been paid.
Okay then, welcome back. Let's take this home quickly. Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, wants to see Abuja free of fuel queues, especially in the light of the upcoming World Conference on, let me get it right, International Oil and Gas Exhibition and Conference. So ahead of this conference, are we looking beyond the conference? Beyond the conference?
As I speak now, I really don't envy that man. I don't envy his job because what he said is that he said it will be very embarrassing for all these people to come into town.
I see long queues.
Long queue. So that's why I say I don't envy him. Yeah. But even whatever measure you put in place now, to just be a stopgap, and it will endure.
And it's only Abuja that you will
I saw Abuja talking, they say Lagos is almost free, and that's why. But Abuja is where the problem is. But even if you put all these measures in place, and then by fiat, the fuel queue, they all disappear from now. And then people come in here, you pump hand, and then you pump champagne. What they go back
to our problem.
Because we return back to the problem where we were before. That is what is talking about logistics. I said we will need to address fundamental policies, issues. All these are all grammar.
He knows what he's talking about.
Charles, a lady has joined us, Josephine, here in Lagos. How are you, Josephine?
I'm fine. Good evening, sir.
I greet you.
Your guest.
Good evening, Josephine.
I greet you.
Baba Jide himself.
I greet you.
One of my best analysts there.
Thank you.
I thank you, madam.
He has a petrol station.
God bless you. Please, I want you to really face this. Talk to this government. I believe they hear you.
They're listening.
Yes.
Because as you can see, Nigerians are suffering, and they don't want to come out with the truth. Before we were buying fuel at 97 naira, and they promised that because of the market will deregulate itself if they put it for 145. And Nigeria buy to it that we want to remove these cabals, that we cannot be paying subsidies to spirits, where they will be taking it out of the country. And we abide by it. Now the same government is not telling us what we need to hear. You can imagine you waste all your whole effort in the filling station. This government is not telling the truth. For Buhari to take the petroleum minister is wrong. Allah Ibe Kachuku has the capacity to do it.
Okay.
Ibe Kachuku is made the substantive minister. I don't think we'll face
Thank you, Sister Josephine. Yeah, he is able to do it. Is he hamstrung? If yes, what by?
And who by?
Who by?
By his bosses. Today, if you tell Ibe Kachuku...
We are rounding this up.
Yes, rounding this up. The solution is until Dangote's 650,000 barrel a day refinery is ready. We need these marketers. Because these marketers have capacity. Let them bring this product home. Because even today, look, NIPCO has supply, but when you go to Apapa where you have clusters of tank farms, you will find that only about 8 actually have products.
Imagine that.
So there is the supply issues remain, and we know why the supply issues remain, because we've left it to the NNPC alone. If the minister himself can confess to that on the floor of the Senate, and he suggested let the people who know how to do this thing, let them come back to importing. And President Buhari has refused to do what his own minister suggested. Rather, he's listening to liars, and then we are made to suffer in this way. I mean, it is unfortunate. How much longer are we going to suffer?
And then he's not doing the government any
At the same time, we are talking about fluctuating prices
no,
of
it will always be there, because
going up and
it's
down.
international
That
commodity.
should ordinarily have been
It's international
a
commodity
blessing to us.
Yeah, we ought to have known that exactly. It's international commodity.
Okay then. For the umpteenth time, my question remains this. If you pour oil on troubled waters, what do you pour on troubled oil? Please think about that question. Let's go straight to our next and final topic. It's no surprise that Governor Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos State is unflagging in his attempt to give Lagos its cosmopolitan looks before long. An extension of the reconstruction of the 10-lane Lagos Airport Road to Ladipo, the largest spare part market in West Africa, is on the cards. So who can blame him? Let's watch this.
It was a straight journey from the State House to Ladipo International Automobile Market in Mushin. Governor Ambode is not happy with the slow pace of work there. He is visiting to dialogue with the traders who are said to be trading on the ongoing construction of the 1-kilometer Alhaji Adewumi Street and Ladipo Streets. This project is an extension of the ongoing construction of the 10-lane Lagos Airport Road.
There's no point doing the airport road if we don't extend that contract to where I'm standing here. So I want to do it from Oshodi to this Guardian newspaper here. I promised you I will do a pedestrian bridge from this place across to the other side. Will you allow me to do it?
Governor Ambode seeks the Traders Corporation with the contractor to deliver the project in May this year.
You need to talk to yourselves. I don't want any trading on that road until we finish it. This is February. In another 3 months, we'll finish it. Let us bring development to your market. I have come to appeal to you.
Chike Nwankwo, the vice president of Ladipo Market, responded on behalf of the traders.
Ladipo Market is the most automobile market in the whole West Africa. And we must cooperate with you in whatever you want us to do. And I'm standing in front of you to tell my people, which even if they are not seeing, they are hearing. And if they are not hearing, they are doing what they are seeing. They are seeing the good work that you have been doing in the whole Lagos State, which will testify that.
For Chike, Governor Ambode has done well for them, and so he deserves the title of Ekweme, meaning one who promises and fulfills.
You promise us that you are going to do the road for us, and you are going to make this market to be a modern market, and that's what we are seeing now. And the other day we had a meeting with you, which you promised us that once you start building the road, that you allow us to be trading. That's why I said in Igbo that you are what? Eku Eme. Because only Eku Eme.
The inspection team proceeded to Oshodi Transport Interchange. There, the contractor promised that the project will be ready in August this year. Governor Ambode also inspected Alapere Road rehabilitation and lay-bys construction.
Please give us market. If you give us market, all the children will not be staying on the road again. I beg. We thank you. 2019, we are with you. Thank you.
The market is not going to go for road though. If I put them inside somewhere, you go there. Okay, I go come answer you next time when I come here. I go do market for you.
Okpebi Oregun Link Bridge and the construction of Eco Theatre at Oregun were also inspected. Inspections like these seem to affirm Governor Ambode's popularity amongst Lagos residents.
Jide, Charles,
Yes.
the cheering thing about this is now we know the true meaning of ekweme.
Yes, sir.
Or talking ado.
I didn't know until now.
Now you know. But then the intercourse between governor and the people
Yes.
is one cheering picture, spectacle.
Honestly,
You know.
honestly, and in fact, I put myself in his position. The governor of Lagos State must be really, really satisfied. Must be really proud of himself because he's done so much, and it is clear that people appreciate what he's doing. It's not so difficult to please Nigerians. I always say it. Our standards are not extremely
exactly.
high.
Yeah.
You just do some things for the people. Let them see, especially infrastructure. They will be singing your
Do a
praises.
lot less of propaganda,
Propaganda,
talking.
work.
Or politics.
Let people see that you are working. Ambode has demonstrated that he doesn't talk much. He doesn't have the gift of the gab like some of his colleagues. But everyone can see that he's working to the point that even the Osun State governor nicknamed him Governor General. Because when you're talking, when they sit in the committee of governors different from governors now.
And they defer to him.
Yes, you know, just like your former governor, Akpabio used to say, there are oil-producing states and there are oil-producing states. Go and see the road that I'm constructing in Uyo and see the road that is being constructed by another alleged oil-producing state near my state. You see, so there are governors and there are governors, but Ambode is a shining example of a hard-working governor.
Charles, the whole thing is about the battle for the new look Lagos, the new look of Lagos.
Yes, yeah, the new look of Lagos. First of all, if you did that road, the airport road, and then you forgot the adjoining streets, they won't complement the beauty that you intend to have. If you had a 10-lane road, for instance, and then we are coming, look at the scenery.
Road on both sides.
Exactly, look at the scenery, you look at all the areas beautiful. And then 2 minutes after that, you now meet vehicle engine blocks and crankshaft everywhere. Then it makes a mess of the whole thing. So, which is why it's very good to beautify that place.
Trying to extend it.
Exactly, to complement the beauty that we're all going to see in the days to come. But as we also look at Ambode, look at the one we saw now at Babylon Bridge. Look at the people who were waiting to see him. Yeah. That's what people should copy from that. You don't need all this siren, and you don't need to even build a sentry around yourself.
Convoy itself,
because if you are walking, you can go and eat isewu with people. People know you are there. You don't need even Mopo to even follow you anywhere. Yeah. So what you need to do for you to get a re-election. I'm talking to most governors now. It's not about politicking. Just do the job. People will hand their mandate over to you, which is what everybody is doing right here in Lagos.
I don't know when last Jide went to Oshodi. Have you seen the terminal there?
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes, I've seen
the works.
The work being done there.
I
can't
mean the
wait
one
for
for
that work to end. No, yes,
no, of course.
I've seen the prototype of it. I saw it.
Where you had this umbrella, this large umbrella overhead.
Now, I also saw the kind of computer representation of what it will look like.
Okay. Yeah,
I saw that and I was really impressed. Now,
3D.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that project to end because I've seen the terminal on the way to the airport. That's the one in Ikeja. If the terminal being constructed in Oshodi can be as beautiful as that terminal that we are seeing. No, that the one we are seeing on the way to the airport here.
Okay.
On the right.
Yeah,
you know that's the near, is it the medical road?
Medical road,
that's it.
If it can be even as beautiful as that,
then
I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But I know that from what I've seen, it will be even more beautiful than that. So Oshodi that used to represent filth, ugliness,
criminality,
everything bad about Lagos is now turning to something else.
Yes.
You know, Ambode is already looking ahead of a Lagos that everyone will be proud of. You know, so and when even money was made available by the federal government in form of this,
they can't about funding.
No. The refund.
Okay.
He didn't touch his own. While some were using the refund to pay salaries, he kept his aside.
Right.
This boss renewal effort.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what they will use the money
Let me
for.
take this call. I hope I got it right. Abba or Abak calling us from Lagos. Abbas,
Okay.
welcome.
Ambassador.
Are you there? Are we in business? Okay, let's go on.
Yes.
You know, it is possible. That's the message. We can do it.
Yeah.
It's having the will to do it.
Yes.
As governor, Charles, I'm not opinionating now. As governor, you don't need to steal money because goodwill will all come in all
shapes.
All shapes.
But I agree
and
with you.
sizes.
I totally agree because the thing is that, first of all, the one you are getting, if you, no matter how small it is, you also use it to execute even all these little projects that people will see. As Jide said, we Nigerians, our expectations are not that high that you can't meet. Do a little in whatever they're looking for. People will praise you to high heavens. That's what I'm saying. So what governors should be doing, the NGF they have, Nigerian Governors Forum, they interface. When they interface, what I expected them to do is to copy from all these governors and paste in their respective home states. For instance, they can visit Lagos. If they can't take the whole Lagos to Abakaliki, for instance, take a portion, maybe road,
I
take
think
it,
and
then you do that. So they should do that
individually
more.
at individual levels, they are doing that.
They should do that more.
You see the collaboration between Lagos and
Kano. And the
Kano.
Kebbi too for this issue of farming.
Yes, on farming with
Yes.
Kebbi. In Kano, they are collaborating in many areas.
So it will help.
The Lagos officials, the cabinet members, they traveled to
over
Kano
there.
late last year. And just last week too, the Kano ESCO members,
They also came
they
here.
also
I mean,
came. So they are sharing ideas,
that's
you know, in many areas, in terms of revenue generation,
The issue of
refuse
economy
evacuation,
and
and all that. So
So let me welcome, again, Dupe here in Lagos. Welcome.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Dikbo. Welcome.
Mr. Victor Giro.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Sir, I'm so much interested about this your topic every day. I would like to watch it. But what would that mean is that at the end of discussion, you forward it to the federal government because the government is deaf. I don't know because I've been getting a lot of good points from him every day. But at the end of it, I don't know whether your points are always forwarded to the federal government.
now,
Oga, our business is to lay the cards on the table. That's our job.
but
they watch.
But they watch.
They watch.
We have evidence of the government taking action after
Yes,
we've
a
said
lot,
a few
a lot,
things.
a lot.
And
Yeah,
you've
they
seen
want
the
us-
vice president even calling on the program.
Yeah.
You've seen the president's wife calling on the program. We've seen even
Babangida.
Babangida when they were carrying this rumor that he was dead.
He
He
called
called
it.
in all the way from Germany. So they watch us.
They watch.
Sometimes they do what we tell them to do. Sometimes they don't. But I've seen instances, many instances, when they listen to
Sometimes
us.
they sleep on what you say.
But sometimes they may just even wave that side too. They may wave that side.
Turn it over in the mind.
But again, it doesn't stop us from talking. As you said,
No,
we
we
just
just
put
go ahead
opinion,
and do
then
our-
let it, whatever
do
they
our
do with
job.
it. That's
Back
right.
to
That's our
Lagos
job.
and by extension governors.
Yes.
You have heard things like, oh, never mind, these governors, first term they go work like say they won't die. Second term they go to sleep.
But
Have you heard that before?
No, when I've heard or I've seen.
Okay.
I've
You have seen?
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, in my home state,
I have heard.
my home state, in Edo, for instance, or talking Adu of Edo State, you remember the Oshomole? He came in the first time, first of all, he was able to deal with godfatherism, even though he made himself godfather anyway at the end of the day.
Yes.
He was able to clear everything that was a hindrance to governance. He was able to do that. But second time, what usually do that is that once they do that, they save money for their re-election. First of all, what they do is that governors will be on recess.
Yes.
They are fighting for their
Battle
survival.
for relations takes
Because you know what, as they've done that, the people are not waiting. Even the party at the center will also be looking elsewhere. So what they do is that what they do is that
They
not
don't
go
want
for
to
the
take
election.
chances.
They don't take
They don't want to
chances.
take chances.
So and then
Election.
they decide to build structure and build a platform for themselves.
Let me take the last, not the least call for today. O. Peter is reaching us from Kogi. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Citizen Jones and Mr. Vajide, my friend.
I agree
Okay.
too.
Jones is also your friend, and
I
Charles.
want to talk about
I've
the
chosen not to make
first issue that was being discussed on the issue of Castro Rosla.
Yes.
The rate at which people is being killed daily basis is really getting alarming. I think the president, as the commander of the armed forces, should urgently do something and address these ugly situations so that the poor citizens living in the country can live in peace and harmony.
And why not?
Use this place to suggest to the President Buhari to deploy the military to all the porous border across most flashpoints in order to combat this menace once and for all.
Yeah.
And may the souls of those that were killed in Zamfara rest in peace.
And as the Yorubas would say, make ọjọ́ jìnnà sí
Ọjọ́ jìnnà síra.
ọdún kó jìnnà síra wọn.
Kì í ṣe ọjọ́
Ọjọ́ jìnnà síra.
Okay. May we not bury people needlessly.
Amen.
Especially in peacetime. All right then, and I am saying governors have this big task. First term, do well. Second term,
survivor.
And then you begin to hear ugly politics like when Pekin failed second term, they repeat and so on. There's no repeat in this case.
Yes.
Do your job. Posterity won't forget you.
And do your job, and the electorate will reward you with a second term.
Will reward you.
And you will give yourself immortality.
That's right.
And you spend less on campaigning for re-election.
It's not even for propaganda. For propaganda, you spend less.
You spend, but they will not want to take chances. That is it.
That's the thing. So that's what they
will do. So they are not sure.
Oh, they are not sure.
It's not about service.
No, I've seen governors who did well who are not re-elected. Kaude Fahimi, you cannot say he didn't do well in Ekiti. But he was not elected. He was not elected because it's not enough. Mahmoud Shinkafi in Zamfara State, he did well that first time. You know, but he didn't get his politics right.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
He now defected from AMPP to PDP.
Okay.
You know, and got married to Babangida's
was it daughter. About the defection or about
part of
him?
Or the defection played a big part because in that part of the country, that state, they had never voted the PDP. They've always voted AMPP. And then you moved to
an unpopular platform.
Charles, that's not healthy for our politics. Oh, you hear what I mean is this not PDP state.
But
this
you can't change it. But you can't change it.
No, at that time, the people didn't want the PDP. Look at a state like Borno. They've never voted the PDP.
Yes. It's a stronghold for APP.
I ask again. But is it not propelled by the number one citizen?
No, let me say this. Even in the US,
is it not propelled by the attitude of the number one citizen?
No, attitude or no attitude. People have decided.
They don't like that part.
Even in the US, there are strongholds for Democrats. There are strongholds for.
It's just like can the Republicans, for example, go and win New York?
Oh. That you ask, yes, and even when they don't defect, they remain there forever. They don't defect. This is their party. It's like
their political behavior. It's part of the political culture.
Yes, it's like a family.
So when he moved, they felt betrayed that you got the letter on the platform of our party and then you jump ship. Yes, and then you see when you want to move, because people make parties strong, you must be sure that the power people are with you. If you do not get the power people around you,
they put the rug off of you,
and they are all in the other party, you are not going to win.
You are going anywhere. No matter
by the nature of our politics,
no matter how much your performance,
you must get your politics right, even if you work hard for the people.
But care must be taken so the governor does not become a demigod.
Well, demigod
because he becomes independent of the people.
Yes, that's also part of it. Okay, yeah. Even want to extend the argument, for instance. The government will work. If he works, as he said, he will always find supporters.
New converts.
Okay, let's even go that.
But he must get his politics right.
Okay, assuming if an Ambode decide to leave APC and go to PDP, will he let him get the second term? So you see that APC traditionally
with the people who put him there, still very much around in the other party.
Let everybody go to PDP when he will smell the second term.
Be careful, he's listening to you.
Oh, he's listening, but he knows I'm saying.
I'm sure he will not take offense.
He's
our friend.
Aruna will know we are speaking the truth.
So let's begin to take it home from the top, Charles.
Yeah.
Where we started. Just jump through that.
Yeah, first of all, I think the government really have to address this issue of killing because it's becoming too rampant, it's becoming too commonplace. When you have killings becoming too commonplace, then we need to be careful because the business of government is governance. If you can't provide governance, then you have no business being there. Okay, then for the issue of which was the second one, the petrol, let the NFPC pay the marketers. Let them look for that money to pay marketers 800 billion, and then allow them to come into supply so that we can have the supply. No. Then I wish everybody well in his endeavor.
Did you take the last one?
Now, during the break, we said we are forgiving you, President Buhari and other people who said there was no subsidy. We know that subsidy exists. We know that today, if you get marketers to come back and ease our pain, you will pay subsidy. We are ready to forgive you.
And we will applaud.
If you eat your words and then you pay subsidy, we are ready to forgive you. We want this problem to be solved. Let's not concentrate on Abuja and Lagos alone. People are suffering across Nigeria. So if you clear the problem in Abuja and Lagos, you've not solved the problem. You are merely deceiving yourself.
All right.
So, and then I also want the killings by cattle rustlers to end. Let northern governors put heads together and find a way to solve this problem. Because Masari has solved the problem in Katsina. So let them put heads together and stop the killing of our people. It has to stop.
That's right.
All right then, and over and above all this is the fact that every government under the sun exists for the benefit of the citizens and not the other way around. I wish every governor well. I wish Mr. President well. Wish every politician well. Jide, many thanks.
I thank you too.
Okay, have a lovely weekend.
Yes.
Charles, welcome back.
Are you taking me anywhere?
No for us.
We'll go to the Kosi bar.
Okay.
Yeah, from
And call us to bar.
All right, that's it for the evening. And join us next week for another interesting episode. But then watch a repeat broadcast of this one at 11. Also watch Journalist Hangout on other platforms showing on the screen and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.